I shook up the world!
Hey there champs, welcome back to another round of Manny's Boxing World. And in today's round, we're going to be talking about a trend in boxing that's going around and making these fighters jump up in weight, at least 2 weight classes, to challenge the champion. And we're going to be talking about that next. But before that guys, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding that notification bell. That way you never miss any of the new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding.
Let's go, champ!
Alright guys, let's get started. Terrence Crawford did an interview on the Joe Rogan show saying that he would move up all the way up to 168 to challenge the winner of Charlo versus Canelo. And previously, Crawford has stated that he would only move up to 158 at a catch weight to fight Canelo. And Canelo says, fat chance, I cannot make 160 anymore. You're gonna have to come up all the way to 168 to take on the challenge. Canelo also said that there is no point of fighting Terrence Crawford because he's too small and he would not get any credit for beating Terrence Crawford if he beats Terrence Crawford. Alright guys, this is what I think happened. Since Terrence Crawford gave so many demands to Errol Spence and Errol Spence gave in to all his demands, I believe he tried that with Canelo, trying to say to fight him at 158 at a catch weight, but Canelo didn't give in to his demands. So he made Crawford move up all the way to 168. So that's where he's gonna have to fight Canelo at 168 because Canelo doesn't really care about this fight. And Errol Spence was begging for this fight and he gave up everything just to make this fight happen, and Canelo is not going to do that. Alright guys, there is a trend in boxing right now that a lot of these fighters are trying to jump in several weight classes to challenge the bigger champion. And they're not respecting their weight classes, so they're going to be in a lose-lose win-win situation. The one that's in a lose-lose situation is the bigger fighter. The one that's in a win-win situation is a smaller fighter coming up. And they're all trying to move up just like this. Alright guys, if Inoue goes up in weight and fights Tank, Tank won't get no credit. If Tank goes up in weight and fights Crawford, Crawford won't get no credit. If Crawford moves up in weight and fights Canelo or Charlo, they won't get no credit. And if Canelo goes up in weight and fights Tyson, he won't get no credit either. Okay guys, I am a fit person myself and I know exactly how to make weight. And not everybody is the same on making weight. Let me give you guys a good example. The Charlo brothers, since they both have a similar frame and they both have the same genetics and the same genes, and they both fight, and one fights at 160, right, and the other one 154. So they were both they were both walking around 190, right, trying to make 160. Well, how come one could only do 160 and one 154? And these guys are twins. This is the most best example that somebody can give somebody else by cutting weight. You cannot compare these two guys to say Canelo's weight cut because Canelo and Charlo don't even have the same genes. Or maybe one of the Charlos couldn't make the weight, or he didn't want to fight his brother. But I remember when the Klitschko's were around, they didn't fight each other either, so they could have just avoided each other. But one could make 154 and one could make 160, right? And if they're twins, why couldn't they both make 154? Or the other one could make 160, right? Maybe they thought they were gonna lose too much weight and not be able to perform. Or maybe if one of the Charlos thought that cutting too much weight will hinder his performance to beating other opponents. And that could be it, because when I'm really low in the fat percentages, the wind blows and I'm like moving everywhere, you know. It sucks, but it doesn't suck to look that good. I love looking good. I don't do drugs, I don't drink and everything. Being fit is my drug. And also when I used to box, some of the amateurs going pro, I would ask them, what weight class are you gonna start? Let me give you an example. One of them say, okay, I'm gonna start on welterweight, right? So but he goes, but I'm gonna try to cut maybe 2 more weight classes, maybe start at lightweight and see how I feel. If I don't feel comfortable, I'm gonna start at welterweight. But the lower I get, the better, because now there's room to move up in weight. They're not gonna try to start their career at their max weight, because then there's no room for improvement. they can't go up in weight because everybody will be way too big. But some fighters will still risk it. Even if they don't feel good, they'll still take the fight. Kind of like Errol Spence. He stayed out of the ring for 2 years, and he hasn't even tried to make weight in that time. So I mean, he probably thought that he could make the weight, and he wasn't able to. He should at least tried or something. But 2 years not being able to make 147, that's the reason he couldn't make 147. He didn't try to make 147 in 2 years. Okay guys, since Charlo is a twin and he has exactly the same genes and genetics as his brother, why can't they both fight at 154 or at 160? So Charlo moving up in weight is not so bad because his brother makes 160 and they're twins. So he's really just one weight class away from Canelo, because they could both make 160. I guarantee you that. There's no way that he can make 154 and he's not gonna be able to make 160 when the guy really looks like a light heavyweight. Guys, it's not like Spence versus Mikey where you see the big difference. You know who's the smaller guy moving up. Not on this one. If you didn't know boxing and you seen the press conference between Canelo and Charlo, you would think that Canelo's the one moving up in weight 2 classes to fight Charlo. Guys, if Crawford does move up in weight and he beats the winner of Charlo versus Canelo, he would become the first 3-time undisputed world champion, and he would become greater than Floyd Mayweather. I almost stuttered when I said that. Guys, if Canelo and Charlo were not fighting for undisputed and Terrence Crawford challenged Charlo for his undisputed belt, he would have been a 3rd-time undisputed champion, you know, saying that he did beat Charlo, right? And then he would have fought Canelo at 168. That guy would have been a 4th-time undisputed world champion if it played out like that. But Charlo moved up in weight to fight Canelo, and you know, that's out of the question. But before that, guys, if he does move up in weight, whatever it is, I still want to see Crawford on the rematch between Errol Spence. But not at 147, at 154. At 147, I won't pay. I'm going to stream that for free because I know the outcome that's going to happen is going to be the same, even worse. It's going to be worse. Say a knockout in 4 rounds. But I'm not paying at 147. I already know what's going to happen. You know, he obviously cannot make the weight. Fight at 154. If not, you're not getting any pennies from me. Alright guys, please comment below if what do you guys think about these huge weight jumps? Should they respect their weight classes, or should they be daring to be great, to jump a few weight classes up and challenge another champion? Comment below and I'll write to everyone back. But that's it for me guys. If you guys ain't subscribed, please punch and knock out the subscription button. That way you never see it again. And ding that notification bell. That way you never miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, the round is over. Ding.